translation to final project, and my material is translation theory, a general survey. So in this video I want to show you my PowerPoint, my slide in here. So happy watching. Okay, the first is a general survey. According to Newmark, translation theory is concerned mainly with determining appropriate translation method for the widest possible range of texts or text categories. It also provides a framework of principle, restricted rules, and hints for translating text and criticizing translation, a background for problem solving. Any theory should be concerned with translation strategies adapted to address difficulties and problems in certain complicated texts. So I think Neymar said that if we wanna translate language, we have to use a method. So with the method, we can translate better language. So I think that's why Neymar say that we have to appropriate translation with method. Okay, according to Graham, asserts that any substantial theory of translations assumes some formal inquiry concerning the general principle of accomplishment. The very principles which define an object and specify a method of study. So Graham said that if we wanna translate the very principle which define an object and specify a method of study. Next, according to Nida, translation is an activity involving language. There is a sense in which any and all theories of translation are linguistic. So Nida said that translation are linguistic bahasa, because if we translate something, of course we use language. So yeah, Anida said that all theories of translation are linguistic. Okay, next is linguistic theories. According to Nida, are based on a comparison of the linguistic structures of the source text and target text, rather than a comparison of literary genres and stylistic features of the philosophical theories. Their development is due to two factors. First, the application of the rapidly expanding linguistics, the scientific study of language, to several fields such as cognitive anthropology, semiotics, pragmatics, and teaching, translation, or interpreting skills. And second, the emergence of machine translation, which has provided a significant motivation for basing translation producers on linguistic analysis, as well as for rigorous description of SL and TL. So Nida said that linguistic structure of the source text and target text, and beside that there are two factors. The first is expanding linguistic study of language, like cognitive anthropology, semiotic, pragmatics, and teaching, translation. Next, functional theories. The 1970 and 1980 witnessed a shift from the static linguistic typologies of translation and the emergence in Germany of a functionalist and communicative approach to the analysis of translation. These theories subsume the early work on text type theory, theory of translational action, and scopus theory. So, functional theories, we need to communicative. We need to understand what is the theories. Okay, next is text type theory. The first is informative. It is concerned with plain communication of fact like information, knowledge, or opinions. The language dimension used to transmit the information is logical or referential. The content or topic is the main focus of the communication. So text type, informative, focus of the communication. The second is expressive. It denotes the creative composition wherein the author use the aesthetic dimension of the language. Expressive is creative composition. So how you can creative? Okay, next for text type theories. The third is operative. The purpose is to induce behavioral response like to appeal to or persuade the reader or receiver of the text to act in a certain way. So this is operative, to persuade the reader. And the last is audiomedial. It refers to film and visual or spoken advertisement which supplement the other three function with visual, image, and music. So this is need image and music. Okay, for translational action theory, this theory views translation as human interaction that produce goals with special emphasis on a translation process. So this theory is how we can interaction with other people, and the goals is to emphasis on a translation process. The second is scopus theory. So scopus theories emphasis the interaction and pragmatic aspect of translation. Translator must use the most appropriate translation strategy. So this is interaction and pragmatic aspect of translation. So how you can find the meaning of what people say, of what is the translation, and the translator must have a strategy. Okay, for sociolinguistic theories, these theories endeavor to link translation to communicative theory and information theory with special emphasis on the receptor's role in the translation process. So this is theory need to communicative and informative. So we can be communicative with this theory. And the second is interpretative theory or theory of sense. The proponents of this theory argue that interpreters do not work merely with linguistic meaning, but also need to take into account such factors as the cognitive context of what has already been said, the setting in which the interpreting is taking place, and the interpreter's own word knowledge. So we need to know what is your own word knowledge in interpretative theory, and we just not just know about linguistic meaning, but we can also know cognitive content of what has already been said. Okay, next is relevance theory. Relevance theory is associated with pragmatics, which is primarily concerned with how language is used in communication, particularly with the way meaning is conveyed and manipulated by the participant in a communicative situation. So this theory associate with pragmatics. We know pragmatics is you have to know what the meaning of what people said and how language is used in communication. Okay, next, translation and interpreting strategies. A translation strategy is a procedure for solving a problem encountered in translating a text or segment of it. So translation and interpreting strategies is how you can solving a problem. Okay, and there are general strategies and specific strategies. General strategies is they deal with different text types because it's general, and specific strategies they tackle a certain text type, the function or purpose of translation. So specificnya is there are function and purpose of translation. Okay, the last slide, interpreting strategies. The first is compensation strategy. The interpreter is often obligated to have recourse to compensation strategies to ease the burden of constraints, to achieve a smooth performance and fluid ideas, and to improve the pace of delivery. So this strategy is to ease the burden of constraints to achieve a smooth performance for interpreter. And the second is syntactic modification strategy, to eliminate or reduce delays and to counter the risk of lagging behind the SL speaker. The SL speaker itu that have a meaning if there are a speaker they wanna say and we as an interpreter, so the interpreter start simultaneously uttering before he perceives the whole idea. So the interpreter must do stimulously uttering before he or she wanna talk about anything in this strategy.